Right now, we're going to continue our NFL draft focus with a breakdown of C.J. Allen, but also I do believe we're going to go through some of the lessons and friends that we've learned and made along the way in this process.
All right. Alec, I didn't discuss this with you, but I kind of wanted to take a break. We'll talk about C.J. Allen in just a minute, but I wanted to take a quick break and kind of reassess where we are. Because I think so far, do you have a number of first-round grades that you have so far? Do you have that list?
So far, I have 10,
okay,
but I have not watched some that I think will fit into that category.
I didn't watch Bane. I would probably slot him there, I guess. I think he's a first-round grade.
For sure.
The way he talks like Dr. Seuss, while he was wearing that mask in that Batman movie was kind of crazy.
That's right.
But you get it, dude. One day you're gonna read Redfoot.
That was like
Bluefoot.
14 years ago.
Okay. The thing though is like I've started to kind of go, okay, I saw this yesterday. Wolchuk was asked about a mock draft, and dude, this mock draft, it was one of our great Tolos, Brian Irbe. It was amazing. Like, you got everything you want.
Oh, great.
In this draft. I don't think you got Caleb Downs, though. So almost everything you want.
Then I didn't get everything I want, Corey.
You got Sonny Styles.
Okay.
You got C.J. Allen. So you got 2 linebackers. And then you got the 2 safeties we talked about yesterday.
Oh, so that means we did some trading.
Yeah, we did do some trading to move down. I believe you traded, you got a 28 pick and so forth. So it was awesome stuff that you were able to pretty much shore up your defense just like that.
Okay.
And I think you got an extremely talented safety that can do all the things. Now, the list I think right now has turned into Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and probably Mansour Delane. Those 3 right there are non-negotiables. If they're there, you take them.
Okay.
Would you agree that those and I know I'm again Bane, David Bailey. If David Bailey's there,
yes, you're talking
yell
about
it from the back. You don't even run the card up. You yell it so that everybody knows.
You are perhaps talking about the more likely people.
Yes,
would be there.
If those 3
yes,
are there,
I'm with you.
Then would you agree? Is there anybody else that you say I have to have that player if he's right there?
Not really. I think those are the 3, just because of best player available at a position of need. You know, the idea that we throw around a lot.
Yeah, and Keldrick Falk is one of those guys that I could see him being taken there. I could see him being taken a lot lower. If the Cowboys were like, we're in love with this guy, then, hey, that's their decision on that.
But for y'all, that would not be a must-take. That would be, depending on what the board looks like, I will listen to a trade down.
Yeah, and as I've watched more of these cornerbacks, that's why Colton Hood's dropped for me, because I'm like, well, there's 2 extremely talented cornerbacks up there. And Jermon McCoy, I know the injury history. I'd take Delane over him, obviously, because of that.
Okay.
McCoy, if I was able to snag him lower, that'd be awesome, but that dude has extreme talent. So, and then from the 4.69, the running back from Notre Dame, is
he a must-take for you at 12?
No. Is Jeremiah Love a must-take for you at 12? It's a good question, Kevin, because for me, I'm still stuck in this. I think he's going to be more valuable to somebody else. Dude, he might be a great running back for somebody else. I'm just in a place right now where I'm signing Javonte, and I think I have a similar running back with explosive speed.
Okay.
And I just invested my draft pick in him last year.
Okay, so this is just the basic question that goes along with it, and this is what teams have to figure out every single year, far beyond just the Cowboys. You get to number 12. He is there. Are you leaving the most talented player on the board? And I know that depends on what it looks like, but it's a possibility.
Yes, because now I've decided to trade down to get more picks.
Okay.
That's
no. I support that.
If I'm forced to take the pick, I'm taking the most talented player.
Right.
But if I have options, those are the 3 players for me right now that I'm going to take no matter what, and I wouldn't trade down from.
And obviously, you have to keep in mind every team spins that their board had them getting the most talent. So whoever we think is the most talented might not matter as much.
Jerry will wave around his see, here's the board right here, guys.
We got 4 of the top 5 players except for Mendoza. That is what we're going to end up here.
I just had those guys print out this board a few minutes. We changed the board, just like those files. Never mind, that's a different story.
Whoa.
It was a joke. But are you kind of in the same boat with Love, or would you look at that differently?
It's tough. What I'm doing is I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling every team behind me that I know needs a running back, and I'm saying I'm taking this player if you don't trade for this pick right now.
Yeah.
If nobody gives me an offer, I think I'm taking them.
Okay. All right. So that's where and again, if nobody offers me, I'll do the same thing. Depending on if now I got to ask the question, all 3 of my guys are gone.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's left that I would have. Okay. All right. And this is the fun part.
And that's why you have to practice for like every possible contingency. Because if you're like, well, we didn't think this would ever happen, then what the hell were you planning for?
And this is fascinating. From the 817, they ran a mock yesterday. Delane at 12 and Love was there at 20.
Oh man.
If he was there at 20, I'm kind of like,
yeah, that is a hard
why
scenario.
Why did people pass that far down on it?
Yeah,
is what I need to know.
Something come up with the medicals, or
from the 214. I want Love. I'm on the record. We all want Love. We're all
stop it. You know they mean Jeremiah.
Yesterday, our friend Jane Slater was on, and it looks like it was NFL Network. She was talking about Christian Parker's press conference. And Kevin, I just want to point out yet again how factually correct the station and this show was in regards to the type of player he's looking at in this spot.
When you look at the secondary and last year, some of their issues, depth and just, the ability to adapt within the scheme. And I thought was really impressive was Parker really drilled down on the importance of the nickel position, telling us, quote, that guy, he's a corner sometimes. He's a safety sometimes. He's a backer sometimes, and he's a defensive end when blitzing. He says he wants to have a guy who has natural instincts and an ability to feel the game. But I think what really stood out was him saying he wants to build a scheme around the players. That was something that I was told by several players last year that frustrated them.
Okay, so Kevin, all of those things that Jane just described, you feel like you've heard that a little bit from this show?
Jane's a Tolo, too.
Yeah, she is a Tolo. And so it's nice to hear that, and that's why we're probably as high as I feel like a lot of teams are high on Caleb Downs.
Yep.
But that's a player that can do all of those things.
Yeah.
That's probably it might be something that's skewing a little bit of the way that I'm watching things is I am trying to find scheme fit.
Okay.
Because
that can get you into trouble a little bit.
And we'll talk at 1 o'clock a little more about the way Christian Parker feels about that, because then I look at it and I go, but is Caleb Downs a scheme fit, or does he fit all schemes?
Yeah.
Does Sonny Styles' athleticism fit all schemes? And I think that this is where I'm like, oh, okay. I'm looking for players. Mansour Delane's play, he can play zone, he can play man, he can play all things that are going to help whatever your scheme is going to be. He's just a football player.
Right.
And I know we say that in a joking manner.
Sometimes it is a positive. Look, it's kind of like we talked about. I didn't think this yesterday, but sometimes when you get a breakdown about the opponent's defense and you're like, oh, they're very multiple. And I'm like, yeah, no F. Mm-hmm. So is every team in the NFL now. I don't think that's what Christian Parker was getting at, but that's the same thing. Sometimes it can feel lazy to be like, he's just a football player. But there are other times when you're like, no, I literally mean whatever you need him to do, he'll do.
877-881-1053. Who are your non-negotiables so far that you've heard from this station? You're like, that's the one, no matter what. If they're there, I'm taking them. Alec, I cede the floor to you when it comes to C.J. Allen. I got a chance to get my eyeballs on this guy. In that mock draft, he was taken 28, 20-ish, somewhere in that range. There were some trades done. And I think Zach was like, I don't love him there, but I do like the player. And my thought is, one of the defensive coaches you just hired, Coach C.J. Allen. That's what better way to start your career than have a guy that you know can play at the level.
Well, before you cede the floor to Alec, I want to point out that Alec also has this at cut 20. So perhaps that gives you some insight into his thoughts.
Here comes a Georgia blitz up the middle, and Arnold goes down in the arms of C.J. Allen.
Now, take it away.
This is a fun player. I watch this guy and I instantly think green dot. This is a field general kind of player that's going to get your guys set up. He's going to make sure that everybody is where they need to be. He is going to over-communicate to make sure that the play is run the right way. And if you're going to talk about being multiple on defense, we're going to be 3-4 sometimes, but not really. We're going to be 4-3, then we're going to be 4-2-5 because we're going to run nickel looks and stuff. You want a guy like this that is going to come up behind the defensive line, make sure everybody is where they need to be, and you're never going to have breakdowns in coverage because he's going to tell everybody exactly what the play is going to look like. I really like guys like this. He's a great leader. He's really tough. He's not going to miss a lot of games on you. He's not going to miss a lot of snaps on you. He just loves to be on the field, but just really solid overall. Nothing really flashes with him. Like, he doesn't have like the Sonny Styles athleticism. He doesn't have the Caleb Downs playmaking. He just does all the right things. He really plays off of his blocks really well. I like some of the stuff that he can do with his hands. But I think he stays square most of the time. He keeps his eyes on the ball. He keeps his eyes on the ball carrier. He's not looking around too much. Kind of like we were talking about with the pair of safeties that we looked at yesterday, where he's just hyper-focused on where the football is. He's not trying to do too much. I think that he's not going to make as many high-value plays as you would expect from, just say, a first-round player. You're like, oh, he's going to come in here, he's just going to absolutely dominate. He's not going to have the flashy picks or the massive, sack that comes off of an insane twist or anything. He's just going to be a really solid player that solidifies the middle of your defense. And when I think of guys like this, I think of like Deion Henley in Los Angeles with the Chargers, guys that raise the floor of your defense. I think he just makes your defense better with his presence and his IQ. It might not be the athleticism. It might not be the playmaking. He's just going to do what is asked of him, play in and play out. And I will say, his blitzing, he likes to disguise it pretty well. He will drop back. He will hang back low. He'll make you think that he's going to drop back in coverage. His blitzing, I think, is something that NFL coaches would be like, I can work with that. We can make this a little bit more fun than they showed at Georgia.
Interesting.
Everything that I watched about him when he hit, we've been talking about guys who arrive with bad intentions.
Yes,
like they
I love that.
When they hit a certain way. I did not get this from him. He tackles to tackle. I'm going to tackle you. That's just what's going to happen. And it's not like, it didn't feel like I got the most pop on everything, but that's not necessarily what you need. You just need to be tackled down, and he's there. The first part that you said about making sure everybody knows, but he just always seems to be in the right place. As soon as the ball's snapped, his feet are shuffling, and he knows I can't get flat-footed on this. Sometimes there's some other areas where he does, but he's just like, I know what the play is supposed to be, and his instincts take him right to the play. And that's something right there, Kevin, because he doesn't let himself physically get overpowered or pushed out of a way by an offensive lineman. He knows how to get in front of the lineman before that, and that's a very special thing. And then you add in the fact that this dude's doing it against SEC teams. He's doing it across the board against the best SEC teams out there.
And I totally get how that makes him a quality player that you would like on his team. Some of the descriptors y'all have used, does that make a player use a first-round pick on?
I can understand how Wolchuk would feel that way. I think there are too many positives that fit the Cowboys. They need two more linebackers. If they're going to be in a 3-4 type look, primarily, they can't just rely on Overshown being healthy, hopefully, and they don't have another one. All right, so that's one thing. Now you're going to need two anyway. So maybe they spend some of that in free agency and they can find themselves a linebacker there. Okay, fine. But I'd love to have this guy in the conversation too. He is the most ready to play right now, and he would fit in immediately. So if he's there not at 12, I'm not doing it at 12 by any means, but maybe here's the conversation. We've been discussing 20 and moving back there and working on some, finding some other picks there. He's going to be late first. So that's the area that you would find him. And again, you need linebackers, so it'd be nice you go ahead and fill that spot. You have a guy that he said has a green dot on his helmet for the next 5 years, and you feel pretty comfortable there. He is going to get the play done. That's what last year, Kevin, Kenneth Murray pushed out of plays, just disappears on the field at times, and you were frustrated by what you saw. This dude, I don't think that that's going to be the case with him. So like that's getting the play done, doing your job is so important. There are other guys on the field that can go make the play for you. If you do your job, DeMarvion Overshown can go flash. So that's kind of my hope on that is I would take him at 20. It would be kind of a reach for me, but I would be like, okay, I've filled now my other linebacker position.